Okay. Today is the 31st of August, Wednesday, 2011, and we're visiting in the home of Billy and Betty May, and Bill was born in the Nurse Mackenzie home, as were a number of other residents still of Strathmore, namely, Walter Bosavane was born here, Betty Slater, Esther Fraser, Joe Harwood, Violet Lugg, Bill May, Jean Nelson, Gordon Potter, John Shear, Marie Tier, and Alan West. And what year were you?
1926.
1926.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get called up in the army in 44, 45?
Yeah, 44.
44.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in the. I don't remember when I did, but I was only in the army for about.
Basic training or something?
Well, yeah, I went to Dundurn, Saskatchewan.
Dundurn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was down there when the first war was over, and then I was back there again after that, in Regina. But I was only in there for about 8 months, something like that. But I seen Canada. I seen from here to Toronto and back.
Yeah. Now, what was the name of your parents?
My parents was my mom was Saunders and
Nellie Saunders, was it?
Yeah.
And your father?
Was Matt May.
Matt May. Okay.
He worked for the CPR.
Yes.
I never asked any questions.
Yes. Okay.
The only thing I know of my mom they come here in 1906. My dad, I don't know when he come, but my dad was a chauffeur for the engineers that built the canal.
Okay. Wow.
So that was way back when.
Yeah, early 1900s.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I can remember your mother somewhat, Nellie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember her. I think she was a good singer, I remember.
She was in the church. She played the organ over at the church.
At the Anglican church,
yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. And I think, according to the Strathmore history book, she was in the Eastern Star and...
no, I don't know.
Or not?
No, I don't know.
Okay. But I remember your uncle, Bill Saunders. I remember him, he was what instrument did he play in Hertel's band?
Trumpet.
Trumpet.
Yeah.
He was a real blasted out guy.
Oh yeah.
He Saturday evenings on Main Street when the band played, I can remember him there.
Yeah, well, my father-in-law and my sister-in-law played in that band.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it was the Ladies Auxiliary to the Legion that your mom was in mainly.
Yeah.
They came here from England, did they, or?
No, I don't know how they got here, but they were in Raymond.
Raymond, Alberta?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got a picture of my granddad sitting out in front of his little harness shop, because he was a harness maker.
Okay.
And there was an Indian sitting on a horse right there beside him.
I am getting a note here that says it was the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my dad come from Cornwall.
Did they, they always lived right in Strathmore? They didn't live in a district outside or anything?
Well, to start with, as far as I got pictures, right where, well, right next to that, where the clock is there.
Yes.
There used to be that's where they had harness shop there. I spent a lot of time there when I was little.
Yeah, this was before it was the bakery there with
Oh, yes.
Chris Hansen?
No, yes, it was there a long time before that.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
And
We lived in the CPR down there, across the highway there. I lived there for about 16 years of my life.
okay. Until maybe you came back after the war or
No, I was gone out of there before that.
before that?
Yeah, well, when the CPR pulled out and let the farmers have the irrigation thing, that's when we got moved out of there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Reading the Strathmore history book, you had two sisters, but one
No, I
died
had
very early on.
I had a
and
brother and a sister.
a brother and a sister.
Yeah, my brother died when he was little, just a baby. My sister died when she was about 16.
Yes, okay. Okay. You took all your schooling in Strathmore, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember some of your teachers?
Yeah, Mary Mercer was one of them, and Margaret Gordon was another.
Margaret Gordon, oh sure, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Of course, you probably knew Sam Crowther too.
Oh, yes, I had Sam Wolf Sam. And I had a couple more in there, but Ralph Ringdahl was one of them.
Okay, he married a Rellinger girl,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah, he moved to, I think he went to Brooks.
down that way, yeah. And, well, you must have been familiar with the Blue Room too.
Oh, yeah, I think I was up there a couple of times.
What happened there?
Just got balled out.
Boy, you were lucky.
Yeah.
They say you got the Supreme strapped out of it. I've heard several say they.
Oh, I got that in public school from Jack Crellin.
Jack Crowlin
Yeah,
too, eh?
yeah, I got that a couple of times.
Was Jack Crowlin involved in hockey or the sports end for kids at all at that time?
Not then, I don't think. He
He
might
was-
have been in with baseball, and that, but
Later on, he
later
had.
on, yeah.
Yeah. Do do you have any other relatives in this area, cousins or
No,
that you know
no. I have cousins in Medicine Hat, and I've got cousins out in BC. But
of? Who did your family really associate with, have fun with, play cards with, or have parties with? Did you have quite a list of neighbors that way?
no, don't think so. No, we more or less, part of my life down there. We just more or less stayed down in the CPR down there, and it was more like a own community down there. We played. My mom and them, they played tennis and that down there. So yeah.
Did you you must have gone almost from, you went right through to high school, did you?
Yeah, I went grade 9.
Grade 9?
Yeah.
You got out and worked then for a little bit before you went into the army?
Oh yeah. My first job at 16, I went to CPR and learned how to harness a horse and rake hay.
Oh, yeah. They didn't get you milking cows, though.
No, I had enough trouble trying to. Well, I found out first day I went out there, I was going to teach the horse how to rake the hay. I learned in about 2 seconds. You sit there and trip the rake, the horse will do the work.
Yeah.
She knew more about raking hay than I did.
So you didn't go, I don't know if SAIT was in existence then, or
No,
Olds,
no.
or you never went to anything like
no.
that?
No, I worked in Spence Hughes's garage for a while,
Okay.
and then I drove truck for George Marty.
George Pillardi, right?
Yeah.
That was before Freddie Tier
Oh,
took
yeah,
it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Well, you'd remember some of the, like Spence Hughes's garage, or
Yeah, I worked in there.
worked in there.
I-
You must have known Louis Daly then.
Oh yeah, Louis
the
was.
tire changer guy.
No, I did that. Yeah, Louis. There was Louis and Jim Knott and Pudge Knott and myself, we
Yeah.
just come around together.
Yes, yeah. As you said before, your mom and your mother was a staunch member of the Anglican Church,
Right.
and I can remember right after the war, they'd have the Remembrance Day program at the Legion Hall, and I can remember Mrs. Freeman and your mom. The Anglican Church and the United Church used to get together to sing for their
Yeah.
service, and I can remember
Yeah.
both your mom and
Yeah.
and Mrs. Freeman there. Did any other organizations or businesses that your family worked with? You've mentioned several of them, Spence Hughes or whatever.
I worked for, well, like I said, I worked for George Pillardi
Yeah.
for a while.
Was that driving his truck?
Yeah, at first hauled milk from Elmer Gray's dad's place.
Okay. Now that was out northeast of town.
Yeah.
Out toward.
Raymond Van Babel is there now.
Yes.
And that was one of the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked for them for quite a while, and then I worked for Freddie too.
Yeah.
And I worked for a fellow named Schneider, who comes from Saskatchewan, and his wife drowned, and his sister drowned in Chestermere Lake. Him and his sister did.
Well, didn't they run a trucking outfit too?
Well, they had the truck, and they
Yeah.
took over
From
yeah, and then an outfit from a guy from Lethbridge bought it, and then he sold it out to Freddie.
yes.
And then I worked for Freddie for quite a while, and then I went to work for the county.
Now, I know that you worked for the county a long time. How many?
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
Remember the year you started with them?
1950, I think it was, somewhere around
1950.
there.
Okay. And most of the time you were running a grader?
Well,
Or what else
I
did you do?
started with out in the road with cat and a scraper, but
Okay.
then I was putting in culverts after that. And then I went running a grader. I run a grader for a long time.
You ran it quite a bit out around Hazard, didn't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, I worked for Jack MacArthur was
The
counselor up there then.
counselor, yes.
And of course I worked for Jim Harwood.
Yes, yeah. Do you, you must, of course you remember the restaurants, the pool hall, the theater, you were born in 1926, so the fire had occurred before you came along, just barely, I guess.
Yeah.
And the Legion Hall, of course. Talking with Joe Harwood yesterday, he said, "Oh yeah, he remembers that pool hall." He said maybe if he hadn't played so much pool and gone to school, better, he might.
That could be.
Of course, you remember the Saturday nights pretty well. Strathmore was a real Saturday night town, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
the farmers come to town and their wives went shopping and the men went to the bar.
Yeah, and they didn't go home right at when the businesses closed either.
No.
There was the Legion Saturday Night Hops, and
Yeah.
the band used to play.
Out in front of the theater.
Yeah, and there was a early show and a late show at the theater.
Yeah.
It was real town.
Yeah, Pop Hurdle run that.
Yeah.
Them days.
And you remember the businesses like the garages, meat markets. What are some of the garages you remember?
Well, the one up there was White Rose. I think it was Nels White had that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went from, I forget now, I just forget. I think Tony Zabriskie had it.
Well, Norman Jones was in
Yeah,
there
he was in there.
for quite a
Yeah.
while.
And then Zabriskie had it, and then Paul and Ross.
Paul and Ross, yeah,
Ross Coles and
yes.
Paul Hallwagner, they had it for.
And there was a guy, Pelche, the Frenchman.
Oh, yeah, he was on
sold
the other
Fords.
street. He was on the other street there, Dodge's. Louis.
Old Louis Lapierre.
Yeah, Pierre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And two meat markets. George Snaith on one side and Roberts on the other. The grocery stores. Did you remember where the banks were, or
Yeah, the bank was on the corner there where the Strathmore Standard is.
Yes,
And
yeah, and the Strathmore Standard was. It was over
across from the hotel, across from the
Strathmore
Strathmore
Hotel. Yes.
Yeah, it's up there in Heritage Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What sports were? I remember seeing I didn't have much to do with Strathmore until after the war, but I remember coming in to watch hockey or play a little bit of hockey, and you were a heck of a good skater.
Yeah.
I know you must have played
No,
some hockey, didn't
I
you?
didn't play very much. I was too chicken to go there and that. I played good hockey.
You were afraid of getting in the corner with Jack Hartel. You never saw so many sharp elbows and knees in all your life.
Yeah.
Did you play baseball or curl?
I
or
did when
anything?
I was going to school.
Yeah.
But I didn't curl till after I quit work.
Yeah. And did you ever go bowling or play pool or go bowling?
Well, we used to, Eddie Schultz and I, when we used to go to Calgary to go bowling, but I bowled down in pool hall
In Woodliff's, in the basement
when
there?
Bobby Hamley had it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I even went down there and set up pins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember D.A. Perry and the CPR station and
Yeah.
Jimmy Swanson
With
push
his wheelbarrow.
his wheelbarrow to get the mail morning and evening?
Yeah.
No, it's even quite interesting in the evenings to go down and watch the train come in.
Oh yes, we all did that.
Yeah.
We always had to go run down there and go to the station and watch the trains coming in.
Yes. Of course, with the railroad there were grain elevators, and
Yeah.
we have pictures. I don't know if we got them with us or not. We have pictures of the stampedes in the early days of Strathmore.
Well, if you look in the book there, it shows that. I got pictures of that too.
Yeah.
Down there by the
South end of the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they got cars parked all the way around it. Yeah.
the cars were the fence.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of pictures there. If you look, you can see an elevator in the background.
Well, that was be the pool elevator there, and then there was
Alberta Pacific,
Yeah.
north of
There
it.
was another one there too, but they tore it down long before that.
Yeah. And the Imperial Oil
Yeah.
bulk station.
Robinson was over there.
Over there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like you grew up on the CPR or
Yeah.
property here, you must have known a lot of the CPR, like Mr. Freeman and
Yeah,
a whole bunch of the CPR fellows.
Yeah, he was next door neighbor to us. There was those three houses there. There's Glendening's was on the west side, then our house, and then Freeman's,
Yeah.
and then the tennis courts. We had two courts there,
Yes.
and then what they called the clubhouse
Yes.
was
Yeah.
there right next there.
What now? The clubhouse was that? Is it still standing somewhere, or was it torn down?
No, no. Somebody bought it and hauled it to Cochrane, up on top of the hill up there, and he was remodeling it, and it burnt down.
Oh, okay, okay. The WID or the CPR irrigation office, I think I can remember when Ray Ferguson was the secretary in there, but that was, and I think George Freeman had his Ducks Unlimited office in there.
Yeah, and then the courthouse was in there too,
But,
at
oh,
the
that's
last,
right. That's right.
at the very last.
Yes.
And then I think I think Bud Newton tore it down, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I
Somebody
don't know.
did.
Yeah. Was there still, like big fire on Main Street that was 1924? Can you remember seeing any after effects of it when you were growing up?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
No, there was a fire down in the CPR. I just remember that. And my dad, with a ditching machine, he drove it right through the fire, and he come out the other side, and there was wood on the gas tank on the side of the machine.
Yeah.
It was on fire when he come out the other side.
Was it one of those things with the buckets
On the back.
chain on the back?
Yeah,
Oh, for
and it
gosh.
doesn't move very fast, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he drove it right through the,
He drove it between the building and the
Yeah.
other building that was on fire.
what, to make a fire
To
guard?
break
sort?
it up, I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gee.
Yeah.
Uh, so then, between the trucking outfits, Freddy's and whatnot, and then the municipality, or the was it a county yet when you
No, when I
Yeah.
went with it, it was Bow Valley.
Bow Valley?
Yeah. And then they took over Rocky Ford.
Serviceberry.
So that's when they changed it to the county of Wheatland.
Okay. Okay. And did you grade roads around here, or was over
No,
at
no,
Hazard?
Hazard,
Hazard
so
Way.
their standard way like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and after I left the county, I went to Calgary and worked up for the Rocky View.
Rocky View.
MD and Rocky View,
Yes.
run a grader for them
Oh,
for
yes.
14 years. So
This was after you retired from.
after
From the
after I got
county.
after I got fired from the county of Wheatland.
What do you think were some of the good years or the good times here? Everybody says, "Oh, that was a good year," or they say that was not a very good year.
I don't
Has
know.
it been mainly good for you, or?
I don't know. With all the good years when when all my families were all around, like my brother-in-laws and that were around, it was a good deal and stuff like that. And then the bad year was when my wife passed away.
Yeah.
And then another good year come along, and I made up with Betty,
Yes.
and we've been together for 30 years now.
30. Yeah. Wow.
Never got married, that's why we're still together.
Yeah.
What were the names of your children?
Well, with Lori, my children was Lori, was my daughter, and my son was Doug. Douglas.
Doug?
Yeah.
And my prompter here is telling me to ask what became of was it Lori's kids?
Well,
Because
Yeah.
Anne taught Lori,
yeah,
and she married Drosky, was it?
yeah, Roy.
And where are those? Where are your
Well,
grandkids now?
Shannon's in Calgary, and Cameron, there he is there. He's in Edmonton, and that's the grandkids. Those are, and there's Lori on the side here. That's Emily and Josie. And here's Shannon's two here. Riley and Tyson. And that's when Shannon got married, that one there. Yeah, this little one here, she just turned 2. Yeah.
Is she? Do you have to run pretty hard to keep up with her now?
No, haven't seen them
Oh,
for a long time. The only two I get to see once in a while is Shannon's two,
okay.
but they're busy. I don't drive in the city, so they don't. I told them if they want to see Grandpa, they come to Strathmore, but it's pretty hard. They can go west and they can go north and go south, but they can't come east. I don't know. That downhill from Calgary to east to Strathmore is pretty tough, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Lori was out, but I got a short memory, so.
I'd like to meet her again.
Well, if you're ever in Calgary, she works for, what's it, Alpaca.
Alpaca.
Alpaca,
Those woolly animals?
yeah,
Oh,
Alpaca Association.
oh,
It's
yeah.
up on the north end of the city, up there by the Port of Call, that
Yeah.
restaurant, and that
Oh,
hotel in there. There's in another place in there too. There's a cow on a big stand up there. I just forget what they're. It's a Hereford outfit or something like that.
Oh, yes.
But she comes out once in a while. She comes out, but not very often.
Did you ever run for town council or have any interest in things that way?
No. Only thing I know is my grandpa did. He run for that when he was
Yes.
years ago there. Yeah. No, I never had anything like that.
You didn't have that thing bugging you that maybe you could do?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, how do you, since you had anything to do with Strathmore, have you been kind of surprised that it's grown from, how many was it, 200-300 when you were born?
So maybe something like that.
And it's up to over 12,000 now or
Yeah.
something? What do you think of that? Do you think it's,
I don't know. I think it probably grew too damn fast, but
what are you gonna do?
what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Mind you, I can't blame people for wanting to come out to a smaller town from a city
Yeah, but
like
then-
Calgary.
Yeah, but then it was all right to come out, but then they figured to come out here. It wouldn't cost you so much, but it costs as much to live here as it does in Calgary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think your TV just went off.
No, you're good.
Uh, do you think Strathmore is going to, they're talking about calling Strathmore a city now. What do you think of that?
Well, I don't know. I heard at one time that Drumheller was a city,
Yes?
and then they went back to being a town,
Town.
because they got more money from the government that way, being a town. So I don't know.
This is one thing that the present mayor, Graychuk, says is that if you go to some of these people that want to go somewhere or build somewhere, they're more impressed with going to where it's a city rather than a town, but I don't know.
I don't know. Well, right now, you look around and you can see all the buildings that are built, but they're not, nobody living in them, so.
Yes, downtown in particular.
Yeah, well, this place next door to us here,
Yes.
the fellow that owns this place on the end here, for the rest of them, I think they're just pretty well all rented,
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
So all in all, you've had a pretty good life in Strathmore?
well, yeah, I had a good life. I've had their ups and downs.
Like everybody else?
Everybody else, and we had a good time. Yeah. Well, I retired when I was, 61. That little blue van out there, they bought that, and we used to go to Jackpot down to
Oh, yeah,
gamble with it twice a year.
yes. That was one of your hobbies or
Yeah,
one
that
of
was
the
one of the
things you like to do?
We took like 2 days to go down there, and 2 days there, and 2 days home again, and that. So we had more like a holiday. I enjoyed it.
Did you ever go down in the wintertime for
No.
a month or two?
No, I never did that.
No.
Stayed home, stayed here, and then braved the winter.
Yeah.
Well, when I worked for the county there, we were there when it was the good years when there's lots of snow around and
Yeah.
had to go plowing snow. We worked about 24 hours a day there, lots of times
Yeah.
plowing snow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there were a few years there with the snowmobiles that it was really good going,
Oh, yeah.
and then it kind of
Yeah.
not so good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Then we had all the good weather in between.
yes, yes. Well, advisor, have I got anything else left to ask? Well, Bill, thanks for your time and your reminiscing, and
Yeah.
they're trying to get the memories of some of the people who were born here or who have lived here all their life,
Yeah. Well, and
to
more-
get it on a video so we can hear years down the road. We can hear their voices and see them talking. So
But
I
like
should have told you to brush your hair, maybe. But anyhow,
got no hair left. But like when I was working for the county, I was never home. I was away all the time.
Yeah,
Used to go out, and I had a little, stayed in the trailer all the time out the gap for a long time. So, but I've been spent a lot of time when I was when I was working for the county and when working for Rocky View. I was away during the week or during the day. So, but there's a few things that like you go down here to the where the IGA was there, and you go across there where that big two-story building is there.
yeah.
That used to be a CPR bunkhouse.
Yes, I remember that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And there's a house over here on the next block. It was the foreman's house down at the CPR.
Is
down
that
there.
right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the rest of them, they're gone. They probably tore them down when Clyber got finished burning them up.
What do you think of all that area out in the southeast where there's Walmart and all them? Is that quite an addition
Oh yeah.
to the town?
Yeah, but they're still going to be building more of that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know, but some of it's good.
So you still, I don't know if you still do or not, but you always used to go over to Smiley's for coffee morning or afternoon.
Yeah, we used to go in the mornings, but we don't go anymore because there's nobody there to talk to, so
Oh,
we
I see.
don't go.
Oh.
All our friends are gone. That's the biggest trouble.
That's the worst of it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to go golfing all the time with Ted Player and that, and he's gone. And,
You did quite a bit of golfing?
oh
didn't
yeah,
you?
when I had time, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that I got no buddies to go golfing with anymore, but I give it up because my arthritis was bothering me, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
give my clubs away to Betty's grandson, so he can go play golf.
Did you ever play golf out at Oxbow?
No,
No.
no,
It's a good course.
yeah. No,
9 holes.
I never did go out there.
Never played tennis or
Yeah, I played a bit of tennis in the CPR there,
yes.
because we had the book, it probably in there.
It shows it in the book there, I
The
think.
Freemans.
Yes.
And that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom played, my dad played. Yeah, well, we had that was good down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Did you ever do much swimming?
no,
No.
I pretty near drowned in the pool down
Oh,
here in the
that
park there.
pool, yeah.
Down there, so that finishes me. I don't, and I used to went up to Chesterfield Lake there, and my brother-in-law Bud was taking Joe's this boat around there. We go around the lake, and we got down the other and come back up the other side, and it run out of gas. We had to paddle. We were paddling across, and the guy come along with a little runabout and pulled us across the road, lake. So I give that up. Water and me and boats don't get along. But I did that. Gene's cousin out there in BC there, he took us for a ride in his boat. He took us down to show us the water bombers down there. They had two of them there, the 4-engine ones, flying boats. When we got down there, the pontoon on the wing of the plane was twice as big as our boat. So, yeah,
Did you ever do much flying?
twice. I went to Vancouver, Victoria once, and Betty won a trip to Reno.
Oh, yeah. Did you, did you ever do any flying, like with a light plane or
No.
four-seater?
No.
Oh, you should have been with us 2 days ago. Ralph Teedy, of course, flies a lot. So he took 3 of us and we went out over the... Were you ever in the Last Chance Saloon at Wayne?
No, yes, I was in it a long time ago, yeah.
Okay. And anyway, we took a fellow out there who wanted to see it from the air. We flew over that, and then they're out in north of Hazar, northeast of Hazar, they're building these wind generators.
Yeah.
We flew over through that,